Begin reclining on your yoga mat. Start to settle into the rhythm of your breath. Deep breath in, deep breath out. See how full you can make your inhales. And then just release on your exhale, softening the muscles in your body. See if you can release the tension, anything that's happening in your mind, just letting it go. Allow yourself to fully arrive. And then I invite you to set a dedication or intention for this practice. Something you've been working on, perhaps. Or maybe just that sensation of letting go, of just allowing. And entering the moment as it is. We'll take a couple breaths together as community. Take a very deep, full breath in. Feel your belly rise. Feel your chest expand on all sides. And when you're ready, on an exhale, let go. And again, really deep, full breath in. Feel the muscles in your forehead get soft. And whenever you're ready, exhale, let go. And then once more for yourself. Extend your legs out in front of you. Reach your arms up above your head. Point through your toes. You might find that your low back comes up away from the mat just a little bit. That's fine. Flex your toes, point them. Move your wrists in circles toward each other and away. Just start to get a little bit of movement into your body. Then we're going to take a banana asana shape. So walk your legs over to the right and then your arms over to the right as well. Cross left ankle over right, left fingertips to your right wrist. Continue to drop your left shoulder down to the mat. And here you're going to start to pull your belly button in toward your spine so that your low back is starting to press more against your mat. Deep breaths through the left side of your body. And then on an exhale, uncross the legs, come back to center, and then wander to the opposite side. So cross right ankle over left, left wrist, fingertips to right wrist. And again, actively draw your belly down. So you're starting to activate your core here. And then when you're ready, uncross the top leg, come back into center. Bend your knees like you're setting up for a bridge pose. Bring your arms alongside you, so your fingertips just barely touching your heels. Slide your shoulder blades underneath you. We're going to take a little bit of a bridge flow just to get warmed up. On an inhale, lift up your hips and your arms, backs of hands to press against the mat. Lift up your heels as well. Reach your tailbone toward the backs of your knees. On an exhale, bring your hips and hands back down. Your heels come down last. Again, inhale, rise up with your hips and arms, and then finally your heels. Lengthen through the tops of your thighs. Exhale, longest exhale, bring your hands and your hips down, lower your heels. 3 more times like that, your own breath. Keep your inhales and exhales equally long if you can. And after that last time, take your hands to the backs of your thighs, rock up and down the length of your spine, and then you're going to come and land in a boat pose. Awesome. Bring your arms out in front of you. If this is comfortable, you can always keep your hands at your thighs or bring them out. Final option, if you would like, take a block and then stick it between your feet. We're going to do some boat extensions here. If you want more intensification, use the block. Or simply, if you don't, imagine your thighs just moving in toward each other. On an inhale, lower your legs, keep them hovered though. Shoulders hover, look towards your toes. Exhale, pull everything in close. Grab a block if you've got it. And then inhale, carry it all the way back, arms above your head. On an exhale, pull in, block to your feet if you're doing that. Reach long. Exhale, pull in. Inhale, extend. Exhale, draw in. Place the block. Inhale, extend. Exhale, pull in, grasp the block. Inhale, extend. Exhale, pull in. Just one more like that. Release back, and then carry forward, roll over onto your hands and your knees. Take a few rounds of cow and cat here. Inhales, drop your belly, lift up your hips and your heart. Exhale, press up through hands and knees, look down toward your knees. Inhale, sweep your heart forward, gaze up. Exhale, press up into your cat pose once again. Send your hips back to your heels in a modified child's pose. We're going to take a flow of a cow and cat to continue our warm up. Inhale, lift to knees, arms lift up, slight back bend. On an exhale, bow forward, child's pose with shins parallel. Inhale, slither your heart forward for your cow. Exhale, press up through cat and send hips back to heels. Once more like that. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, fold, modified child's. Inhale, take it forward, belly down. Exhale, press up to your cat pose. Stay here for a couple breaths. You're going to continue to arch up your spine. Press down with your hands. Press down with your shins, and either the tops of feet or if you've got toes tucked, with the toes. And then release back to that tabletop pose. Right arm comes out, thumb up. Shift the weight, extend left leg out behind you. Inhale here, exhale, bring your elbow to your knee, arch your spine like we were just a moment ago, like that cat. Inhale, reach out again. Exhale to pull in. Third time like that, reach out. Exhale, pull in. Inhale, reach out, and then place right hand down, left knee down. One version of cow and cat for yourself, whichever variations are best for you. And then come back down to neutral. We'll take the other side for bird dog. Left arm is out, thumb up. Right leg comes out, give yourself a little bit of stability. Inhale, prepare, exhale, pull in. Arch your spine, press through your right hand. Inhale, take up space. Exhale, draw in. Inhale, reach out again. Third time like that. Exhale, pull in. Really arch your spine as much as you can. Inhale, reach out, and then hands and knee down. Tuck your toes, reach your hips way, way, way back, arms forward, and then take your first downward facing dog of this class. Spread your fingertips wide, wrap your inner elbows out beyond you. If you need your knees to be bent here, that's perfectly fine. Your heels don't have to touch the mat. Continue to breathe long, straight, strong breaths. Bend your knees, look towards the top of your mat, and on an exhale, step or hop all the way to the top, forward fold. We're gonna take 3 halfway lifts, make these really strong. On an inhale, lift up halfway, fingertips press against shins or the mat. Exhale, chest to thighs, take it down. Again, halfway lift like that. Exhale, fold. Final time, inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, forward fold. Press through your feet, reach your arms out and up. Palms press above you, and on an exhale, take your hands to your heart center. Arms alongside your body, Tadasana. We're gonna flow through a sun salutation A. Inhale, arms lift up, gaze goes up as well. Exhale, hinge at your hips. Forward fold, hands through heart or wide. Breath in, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, step back to the top of a plank pose. And then on an exhale, lower to or towards your mat through chaturanga. Untuck toes, inhale for a back bend. And then on an exhale, lift your hips up and back, down dog. Inhale, 1. Exhale. Inhale, 2. Exhale. Third inhale, bend your knees, look towards the top of your mat. On your exhale, step or hop to the top, forward fold. Breath in, halfway lift. Offer your heart, exhale, fold to honor yourself. Press through your feet, reach arms out and up. And on an exhale, hands to heart. And then allow them to reside alongside your body once again. Rise to your toes. Perhaps allow your eyes to close. 3 breaths. At the end of your third exhale, release heels back down. We're going to take a sun salutation V, toes together, heels slightly apart. Inhale, sit low, Utkatasana. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, come back to Palanasana, planche pose. Exhale, lower to or towards your mat. Inhale for a cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, lift up and back, downward facing dog. Right leg forward, warrior one. We'll stay here for just a couple breaths, sit low. Release your shoulders away from your ears. On your next exhale, hands come down to mat. Step right foot back to meet left, vinyasa if you would like to take it. Left foot comes forward, warrior one. Right foot is down at a 45-degree angle. Take your time if you would like. We'll be here for a couple breaths. What is best going to align with your dedication, your intention? Maybe it is not one breath per movement. When you're ready, on an exhale, hands tap down. Step back to the top of plank pose, vinyasa if you would like to take it. Once back in downward facing dog, we will take 5 breaths. Find the looseness in your jaw. And at the end of that 5th exhale, travel to the top of your mat once more. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Toes together, sit low, Utkatasana, arms lift. Exhale, come up to standing. Bring arms alongside your body. Separate your feet, hips width distance. Rise to your toes, 3 breaths. At the end of your 3rd exhale, release your heels back down. We'll flow back to downward facing dog. If you'd like to move to your own breath, please do. I'll also provide guidance. Inhale, arms lift. Exhale, hinge at your hips, forward fold. Breath in, offer your heart. Exhale, fold, honor yourself, step back to top of plank pose, vinyasa if you would like. On an exhale, lower to or towards your mat. Inhale for a back bend, tops of feet to mat. Exhale, back to downward facing dog. Continue long, slow breaths. On your next inhale, right leg lifts up and back. On an exhale, pull your knee to your right elbow, shift it forward, keep your inner elbows wrapped forward. Inhale, up and back. Exhale, take your knee to your nose, arch your back like cat. Inhale, extend tripod. Exhale, take your knee to your left elbow, keep your foot high. Inhale, up and back. Exhale, place your foot between your hands towards your right thumb. Drop the left knee down, Anjaneyasana. Lift your arms, sit your hips low. 3 breaths. At the end of your 3rd exhale, hands tap down. We're going to take a half splits pose. Shift your hips back if your leg goes straight. Wiggle your right foot forward, flex toes towards your face. Inhale, lengthen. Right hip draws back. Exhale, reach your chin for your shin. If you need a little bit more here, you're going to drag your right heel along your mat like it's going to crinkle up. You'll feel something. On your next exhale, re-bend into the right knee. Tuck your back toes so you can lift up your left knee. More weight to your left palm, peel right fingertips up toward the ceiling. We're going to take this all the way into a side plank. So spin all your toes away from you. Find some strength through your left foot. Always not to take your left knee down. Instead, just make sure you point your toes back to front. Stack right foot on top of left. All right, option is stay here. If you want to take it further, then with me, you're going to take right arm overhead, hover right leg. On an exhale, bring elbow to knee in front of your body. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, crunch. Inhale, Virabhadrasana. Final time. Inhale, reach out. And then we come out of our side plank pose, hand and foot come down. You're in plank pose. You're going to stay right here. Continue to press the mat away from you. You're going to gently knit your low ribs into your hip tips, but without arching your spine. Just breathe. If any time you take your knees down, please do. Focus on exhale. And then on your next exhale, chin to chest, press up and back, downward facing dog. Wiggle it out if you need. On your next inhalation, left leg lifts up and back for a tripod dog. Exhale, take your knee to your left elbow, shift it forward. Inhale, tripod. Exhale, take knee into nose, arch your back, really curl in. Inhale, up and back. Exhale, take your knee to your right elbow. Take it back up to the tripod dog. And then on an exhale, place your foot between your hands toward left thumb. Right knee drops. When you're ready, lift arms up. If this is too much on shoulders, you can simply take your hands to hips or to your thigh. At the end of your third exhale, hands tap down, half splits. Ardha hanumanasana. Flex your left toes toward your face. Again, if your leg goes straight, wiggle your foot forward. Flexing toes toward face. Reach your chin for your shin. Find that activity where you're pulling your hip back. Really focus on a flat spine here. Don't allow the chin to shin temptation to overthrow Tadasana in your back. And then on an exhale, rebend into the front knee. Hands on either side of the front foot, tuck your back toes. You're in a low lunge. Weight to right palm, left fingertips come up for a low lunge twist. The next thing we move toward is our side plank. So to get there, spin everything away from you. And then if you would like, stack right foot on top of left. And if you want to take this other challenge, left arm comes overhead, hover left leg. All right, 3 crunches when you're ready. On an exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, reach out. Exhale, draw in. Inhale, reach out. Third time. Inhale, reach out. And then we come back to high plank. Hand down, feet down. Come onto your forearms. Option to have forearms parallel, or you can clasp your hands together. Find what works best for you. Just breathe. Again, at any time, if you want to place your knees down, makes sense. Take care of your body. Continue to breathe. Focus on exhales. And then press up into your palms. Chin to chest. Press up and back, downward facing dog. 3 breaths here. At the end of your third exhale, take your knees to mat, hips to heels in child's pose, or another pose that feels restful for you. It might mean sitting on your knees or choosing something else. We're going to start the sequence part of this class in just a moment. We will meet in downward facing dog. You have the next 5 breaths. Do whatever you would like. We'll meet in down dog. The first of 5 breaths begins now. About now, you might be finishing up that 5th exhale. If you're in the middle of any posture, take your time. And we will all meet in downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Really deep breath in, full breath out. And then once more on your own. On your next inhale, lift your right leg up towards the ceiling. And then on an exhale, place your foot between your hands toward your right thumb, maybe keeping right palm down. Step your left foot in just so slightly so you can angle down at a 45-degree angle. Already, pull your right hip back so that your knee is in line with your hip. When you're ready, hover fingertips away from your mat, keeping the bend in your knee. Warrior 1, sit low. Shrug your shoulders back, wrap pinkies in toward each other. And again here, knit your ribs in. Give yourself lots of power, lots of strength. And then straighten the front leg. Find a more square of your hips. It might be easier with a straighter leg. Right hip draws back, hinge forward. We're gonna stop right here like we're going toward a pyramid pose, arms out in front of you. So you've kind of got like maybe like a warrior three situation. Just breathe. Press down through your feet. The more you press down, the more you lift up. And then on an exhale, release your hands down to the mat, pyramid pose. Breath in, wave long, right hip draws back. Feel free to take your right hand to your hip to remind yourself. On your exhales, just like when you were doing the half splits pose, your chin is reaching towards your shin. Keep pressing to the outer edge of your left foot. On your next inhale, lift up about halfway. Pause here for the exhale. And then return back to a warrior one, arms lifted. We're going to take garudasana arms, wrapping a left elbow underneath. So maybe hands to elbows, or perhaps you wrap twice, maybe palms even touch. Maintain the deep bend in your front knee. Inhale, lift up your fingertips away from you, elbows away. And then on an exhale, pull your elbows in, curl in. Maybe even get your shoulder to the inside of your right knee. Inhale, lift up, keep the bent front knee. Exhale, curl in. Third time. Exhale, draw in. Lift all the way up. And then unravel your arms. Coming up to your warrior one. We're going to move to a half moon pose, ardha chandrasana. So allow your hands to drop down. An easier way to get this pose is to come up onto your left toes and then open up almost like you're coming to a warrior two. Reach your right arm out in front of you, block if you'd like, any height, or just take your hand to the mat. Left hand to left hip will help you stack left shoulder over right. Start to shift your weight forward, lead with your heart. Whenever you're ready, your left leg lifts up. Make sure you've got your toes in front of your nose if you're looking for more challenge here. And then as you're ready, left fingertips up toward the ceiling. Continue with your long exhales. And then chapasana. So sugarcane pose. Bend your top leg and reach your left hand back. You're going to press your foot into hand, hand into foot. Right now, the grip is not so important. I'm placing my hand to the inside of my foot because I know that we're going to go to dancer next. You don't have to do that here, however. It's a deeper stretch through your shoulder. Continue to breathe. If you don't reach foot, simply reach for the foot. All right, from here we do move to our dancer pose. Take a little bend to your right knee so you've got more strength. You're going to start to come up. Left hand is on your foot. Again, if you'd like, flip your grip so your hand comes to the inside. Right fingertips are up. Palm facing away from you like you're going to high five somebody. Press foot into hand. Hand into foot. Continue to square towards the front of the room like we were in warrior one. Just breathe. And then as you're ready, start to release down. Stand down. Find just a little bit of movement. How much energy can you conserve? So just make as much movement as necessary to find that place of stillness. If you like, bring your hands to your heart or keep them alongside your body. Option to rise to your toes for 3 breaths. At the end of your third exhale, release your heels down to the mat. We're going to flow back to downward facing dog through a half sun salutation A. If you'd like to take another path to get there, please do. And if you'd like to ignore the sound of my voice, please do. I will provide instruction. Inhale, arms lift, upward prayer. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold once again. Step back to the top of plank pose. On an exhale, lower to or toward your mat, elbows grazing in towards your rib cage. Untuck toes for your back bend. And then exhale, up and back, downward facing dog. Reclaim your breath. On your next inhalation, left leg up and back, long, straight, strong. Exhale, place your foot between your hands toward left thumb. Maybe keep the palm down. Right foot steps in just about a couple inches, maybe a quarter of the way. Angle down 45 degrees. Pull your left hip back, get your lower body more into warrior one. And then when you're ready, incorporate your arms and your torso. So pull in your floating ribs, press to the outer edge of your right foot, bend in deeply. Continue to breathe, and then straighten the front leg. Left hip pulls back even more. Lift up, and then start to tilt forward. All the length you can find through both legs. It's okay if they're bent. And we come to this halfway pyramid pose. Point your pinkies toward each other. Reach your shoulders away from your ears. Left hip continues to pull back. And then when you're ready, your hands drop down to the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Give yourself space for pyramid pose. And then exhale, further down, just like we were doing in our half splits. Left hip continues to draw back. When you're ready, inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale here. And then return to warrior one. Arms lift, knee bends deeply. Garudasana arms, once again, this time the right elbow's on bottom. So hands to shoulders, or once, maybe wrap twice. Continue to pull your left hip back, and we're going to take a little bit of arch at our spine in both directions, keeping legs in warrior one. Inhale, lift up, elbows and hands reaching away from you. Exhale, pull elbows in, come all the way down, maybe shoulder to the inside of knee, keep pulling left hip to the back. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, pull in. Third time. Lift all the way up. And then unravel your arms. Warrior one for simply one breath. And then start to break the posture. We're going to move to ardha chandrasana, half moon pose. Again, lift up onto your back toes. Toes facing forward. Just gives you a little bit more buoyancy here, a little bit safer. And then you're going to start to reach your shoulders toward the long side of your mat. So you can start to reach your left hand down. Right hand to right hip. All we're doing is facilitating the twist here. So left hand comes down to block or to your mat, something else. And then your right leg will start to lift up. It's okay if you've got multiple stops here. So point your elbow up to the ceiling, right elbow. Flex or point your right toes. Press down through left foot, and then when you're ready, right fingertips lift up. If you're looking for even more challenge, you can send your gaze up to the ceiling. Or have your fingertips away from that, maybe a little bit of both. Don't go 100%, 85. And now chapasana, sugarcane. Bend the top leg, reach your right hand back. It often helps to bend the standing leg. Again, if you'd like, you can take your palm to the inside of your foot with your thumb facing away from you. Just because you know we're gonna go to dancer eventually, that does not have to be a grip, it's simply an option. Maybe even here, you send your gaze up or have your fingertips away from the mat. Just breathe. Foot into hand, hand into foot. And then maintaining that bit of pressure, little bend to your left knee, stand up. We come to dancer pose. Left arm lifts up towards the ceiling. If you stand out, come right back in, totally fine. I mean, you guys saw me like dropping my block around earlier, so, you know. Just breathe. Foot into hand, hand to foot. Can you start to bring your right knee in, closer to you? Focus on something that is not moving. And then when you're ready, start to bend down, release foot. Conservation of energy. Take as much movement as you need, but see if you can restrict that to nothing more. Hands to heart center or alongside your body. Option to rise to your toes. 3 breaths. At the end of your third exhale, release heels down if you took that option. Inhale, arms lift up. Exhale, hinge at hips, forward fold, flat spine, bent knees are fine. Breath in, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Stand back to top of plank pose. Optional vinyasa on an exhale, lower to or towards your mat, elbows graze in towards your rib cage. Inhale, back bend. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, 1. Exhale. Inhale, 2. Exhale. Third inhale. Third exhale, knees to mat, hips to heels for child's pose or another restful posture. We're going to take that flow and we're going to add onto it. You know where we're going, so if you ever feel like you like to move ahead or behind my voice, please feel welcome to do that. Steady your breath. Maybe you can hear one of my cats screaming in the background. I'm sure it's very soothing. You have the next 5 breaths to do with whatever you would like before we meet in downward facing dog. You can take this time to work on any postures, to simply rest, take some water, do what you need to do. First of 5 breaths begins now. Now, you might be coming upon your 5th exhale. If you are, then please meet me in downward facing dog. If you need a little bit more time, take the time that you need. Once you're in downward facing dog, lift up high into your toes and then pivot your heels over to the right. Press your chest back more towards your left thigh, dropping your left shoulder so it's in line with the right. Inhale, come back to center on the toes and then pivot your heels to the opposite direction. Make sure that your right shoulder is in line with left, pressing back toward right thigh. And then come back to your regular downward facing dog. Bend your knees, walk your hands back to your feet, and then take a ragdoll pose at the back of your mat. So make sure you've got some space between your feet, about 2 hips distance. Sway from side to side, take a grip if you'd like. Loosen through your jaw. Let go of any of those thoughts that decided to creep up on you. And then when you're ready, release the grip if you've taken one. Come back to your downward facing dog. Be sure to give yourself just one quick plank pose just to make sure you've got the right distance. No funny stuff. Let's take a few breaths together. We're on this together. Inhale. Release. Once more. And then one time for yourself. On your inhale, right leg lifts up and back, tripod. Exhale, place your foot between your hands toward right thumb. Warrior 1, when you're ready. Stand high, sit low. Straighten your front leg, pull your right hip back, squaring hips further. Come halfway down, press through both feet. Give yourself lots of length through the sides of your body. Hands tap down. Inhale, halfway lift once again in your pyramid pose. Exhale, deepen your pyramid pose, 3 breaths. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale here, come back to warrior 1, arms lift. Garudasana, arms left elbow on bottom. Wrapping to elbows once or twice. Option to stay here or 3 times with me. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, curl. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Unravel arms. Coming to Ardha Chandrasana, half moon pose. So get out of your posture, pop up onto your left toes, give yourself lots of space. Lean forward. Whenever you're ready, left leg will lift. Give yourself situated on the bottom part, so things are touching the ground first, and then focus on everything else that extends outward. Once you get to where you're going, 3 breaths. Next, take your chapasana pose, bending the top leg, reaching toward or reaching your foot. Once you get to where you're going, 3 breaths. At the end of your 3rd exhale, little bend to the standing leg. Start to come all the way up to your dancer pose. Hands facing away from you. Pressing foot into hand, hand into foot. And then when you're ready, keeping this hand to foot grip, you're gonna start to bend your front knee a bit, and you're gonna come back to chapasana. So hand coming down, maybe maintaining the grip of your back foot. If you come away from it, don't worry. And then returning to your Ardha Chandrasana. Continue to breathe. Then keeping left leg lifted. Left hand comes down, square off your hips. Inhale, halfway lift here. We're in a supported warrior 3. Option to lift your hands away from the mat if you would like, or keep them here to support you, staying grounded. Exhale, fold, left foot comes down. Ragdoll pose, conservation of energy. If you've taken a grip with your hands, release hands down. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Come all the way up to standing, reach arms out and up. Palms press above you, exhale, hands to heart center. You can keep your hands here. You can keep your eyes open or closed, or you can take your hands beside you. If you'd like, rise to your toes. We'll be here for 3 breaths. Beginning of your 3rd exhale, release your heels down. We're going to flow back to downward facing dog. Travel any way you would like. I'll see you there. Downward facing dog. Strengthening breath in, cleansing out. Inhale, left leg up and back, and on an exhale, place your foot between your hands toward left thumb. Warrior 1, as you're ready, lift up. Straighten the front leg, keep pulling your left hip back. Hinge forward, arms alongside your ears. We'll be here for 3 breaths. And then drift hands down to the mat, breath in, half lift. Find more spaciousness, exhale, hinge forward, 3 breaths. Come up halfway and inhale. Exhale here. Return back to warrior 1. Garudasana, arms, right elbow on the bottom. Wrapping to elbows once or twice. You can stay here or 3 times. Find the lift and curl with garudasana arms. Inhales lift you up. After that 3rd time, unravel, break pose, we come to Ardha Chandrasana. Again, come out of the right foot just a bit, come onto your toes. Square your shoulders, deep bend into left knee, hand comes down to block or the mat. Right leg lifts eventually. Focus first on everything that's touching the mat. Focus on your pelvis, lots of length through your spine. Expansion when you're ready. 3 breaths once you get to where you're going. Chapasana, sugarcane pose when you're ready, bending top leg, reaching hand back. Press foot into hand, hand into foot, bending the spinning leg is absolutely fine. Once you get to where you're going, 3 breaths. At the end of your 3rd exhale, begin to transition. We come into dancer pose. Bending this front leg will help. Pressing foot into hand. If you'd like, flip your grip. Once you get to where you're going in your dancer pose, stay here for 3 breaths. Maintain the grip best you can. We're going to transition back to where we just came. Chapasana. Sugarcane, hand comes down. And then when you're ready, release your grip. Ardha chandrasana, half moon pose. Keeping right leg lifted, take right hand down, square off your hips. Supported warrior 3, hands to mat or to block. Keep your belly strong. Exhale, right foot comes next to the other. Ragdoll pose. Conservation of energy. See how little you can move and still find relief. Release fingertips to the mat if you've taken any kind of a bind. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Press through your feet, reach arms out and up. And then on an exhale, take your hands to your heart center. Okay, we're going to take a standing figure 4 pose here. Shift the weight to your left foot, find a bend through the knee, cross right ankle over left thigh, flex your foot, and you're going to start to keep this Tadasana through your torso, but so you're going to hinge your hips back. You can keep hands at heart or at your hips if that helps with balance. Or if you're like, I have simply not had enough core work today, I need more, I need this. Don't know why you do, maybe you do. Reach your arms out so that you've got your biceps alongside your ears. Keep hinging forward, your bum is out. You've got your pinkies pointed toward each other. See your fingers. I don't know why that helps with lift, but it does. I don't make the rules. Just breathe. Send your hips back, back, back. Keep hinging forward. And then when you're ready, start to come up, uncross, stand down. As little wiggle as possible as it takes. And then we'll take the other side. So shift the weight to your right foot, bend through the knee so you've got lots of support. Left ankle over right, flex the foot. Tanasana through your chest, send your bum back so you can keep a straight back. Again, so many options. Hands at hips, hands at heart, or you people that need core. Arms alongside your ears, and then continue to hinge forward. Continue to press your left knee down and away from you. I know you can do it. And also just take a look to your right toes and make sure that you've got a straight line from like about middle toe to ankle to knee. You're not like, cycling from one side to the other. Send your bum back further. All right, and then start to stand up, stand down. Take a wiggle if you need. How little can you use to get to where you need to be? And then on an inhale, reach your arms out and up. Keep your hands separate. Sit your hips low, chair pose, and low, and then go lower, and lower, and lower, and lower, and lower, 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 until your bum just hits the ground. Take your hands around your shins, let your head drop. Start to rest. And then come out of your pose, lift your head up. Take your hands behind you, so you can shift back. You're gonna take Sugarcane. Left leg is straight. Place your right foot into your left thigh. Adjust as much as you need. Inhale, lift up your arms. Pivot your torso over your left leg. Exhale, reach for your foot. Doesn't matter where it lands. Inhale, halfway lift. Hip comes back. Chest reaches forward. And then deepen your posture. We'll be here for 5 breaths. At the end of your 5th exhale, lift up about halfway. Exhale, break your pose. Right hand comes behind you, fingertips away. Stargazer, sweep your left arm around, come up onto right shin. Left foot plants down, lift up your hips, reach your hand behind you. I prefer palm down, but if you'd prefer palm up, if that doesn't bother your outside shoulder, then that is fine. Longest line you can create. Press away from the earth with everything that's pressing down. And then on an exhale, allow your hips to come down, cycle all the way around. We're gonna take a virabhadrasana between sides. So bring the soles of your feet together, knees wide. Scoot your hips a little bit closer, only if you like. Not a requirement, hands to your feet. Inhale, lift up. We're gonna take a straight back version first, so start to hinge forward. Maybe elbows to your calves if you'd like. 5 breaths. And then when you're ready, start to lift back up. And then scoot your hips back as much as you need so you can comfortably extend the right leg out. We move to chandrasana, opposite side, foot into right thigh. On an inhale, find extension in leg. Pivot over the length of leg, reach. And then get out of your own way. Inhale, break posture. Right hip comes back, heart reaches forward, realize there's more to go. And then exhale, deepen, 5 breaths. At the end of your 5th exhale, come out part way. And then exit your pose. Stargazer opposite side, left hand behind you, fingertips away, about 12, 14 inches. Sweep your right arm around, press onto right foot, left knee, or left shin rather. Reach your arm up above your head. Find lots of length, press down through everything that touches the mat. Everything is conspiring with you to lift up and away. And then on your next exhale, release your hips down. Okay, we're going to take a Supta Baddha Konasana, so a different bound angle version. So you're going to start to bring yourself together like you're going to set up for a bridge pose. And just lower yourself down if you're like, I need more core. Bring your arms alongside you and just come all the way down. So you've got your feet maybe a little bit further away from you than you would if you were going to do a bridge. Start to walk your feet toward each other. Let your knees start to drop out to the side. Okay. Press through your elbows and your forearms. Lift up your back, slide your shoulder blades underneath you. And then also lift up your hips. This might help if you've got like you've got like tension in your low back. And you scoop down just a little bit so you've got more space in your sacrum. And then allow your knees to drop open. If this is simply too much and you don't like it, then back out the same way you came. Hands to backs of knees, and instead just knock your knees together, so opposite shape. Find the position that suits you right now. Allow your eye gaze to soften, allow your eyes to close. You can either allow your arms alongside your body, or if you prefer, hands on belly, one hand on belly, one hand on heart. It's up to you. The final posture of this class will be Shavasana. If you would like to take your Shavasana here in your Supta Baddha Konasana, your reclined bound angle pose, you can simply stay where you are. If you'd like to take a more traditional Shavasana, to come out of this pose, you're going to rewind the way you came in. Being very gentle as you come out, make sure you take your hands to the backs of your legs to provide yourself a little bit of assist. And then you'll simply extend your legs out in front of you. Maybe take the same motion of making sure that your shoulder blades have released behind you and you feel secure and stable. Once you've made the adjustments that you need, begin to remove the muscle activity, softening through your extremities, allowing that heaviness, that softness, that release to come closer into the center of your body. Releasing your thoughts, softening your breath, allowing your eyes to be very heavy. On your next inhale, let your thoughts drift back to your dedication, your intention, and with your exhale, release it. Completely let it go. And then as we have throughout this class, finding small movements, only as much as needed to come out of your Shavasana, eventually roll over onto one side, pausing for a few breaths, acknowledging this change, this transition from corpse pose to a brief meditation and reflection. Bring your hands together to your heart center, thumbs to sternum, and Anjali Mudra. Bow your head to your heart. Once more, acknowledge the dedication you've set and that of the yogis around you. On an inhale, reach arms out and up, palms press above your head. And on an exhale, take your thumbs to the space between your eyebrows for clarity of thought, to your lips for clarity of speech, and then to your heart for clarity of action. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me. Thank you for helping me deepen my own. In the name of the highest good, namaste.